Hello, my name is Joshua Cohen, and today I will be talking about why the minimum wage should not be raised to $15 an hour. Why I chose this topic. The reason I'm researching this issue is because I want to educate myself more about both sides, and I only know about the negatives. In my opinion, I believe that the cons outweigh the pros. I also wanted to research this topic more because I've heard about it in the news, and I've seen it all over my social media pages when I was selecting my topic more often than I have before. And I feel that it would be a great idea to use this topic for my paper because I knew what side I was on and wanted to learn more about it. The first thing I wanted to talk about is who controls the minimum wage. I'll give you a second to ask that question to yourself and think about it. When it comes to raising the minimum wage, it is actually the cities and states that have power over it. Now you may be thinking, Josh, the national minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. Now, that is true. The government has set a federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour, but only 21 states follow that federal rate. All other states have a minimum wage rates higher than that, and 13 states have a minimum wage over $11 an hour. Those states are California, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, Colorado, New York, Maryland, Vermont, Connecticut, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Maine. Now back to how the state controls these minimum wage rates. Florida set a bill that will gradually raise the state's minimum wage until it reaches $15 an hour in 2026 or by 2026. This is the first state to do so in the United States of America. Now on to some of the positives I found from researching this topic of raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. In one of the articles I read, the author stated, moderate minimum wage changes of 5 to 20% lead to small, often statistically insignificant wage changes, meaning you need a 20% or more increase in the minimum wage to see a good difference. So in the 21 states that follow the federal rate of $7.25 an hour, you need a 20% increase to see a significant difference. 20% of $7.25 is $1.45. So the minimum wage would have to be raised to $8.70 an hour. And in another article I read, if you raise the minimum wage by 10%, that lowers the poverty rate by about 2%, which is still pretty good. So in order to see a significant difference, I believe a 20% increase is a good start to raising it. Because if you're seeing a significant difference in a 20% increase, and great things are happening there, then why should they raise it to $15 an hour, which is over a 100% increase in most states? That just wouldn't make any sense. Next, healthcare workers are very important to our nation. Some people may not consider them workers, but they would consider them heroes, and I agree. Some people may argue the pay wages between men and women in the workforce and if they should be paid the same or not, and both sides have valid points and arguments. This research I did here would make a good argument for why equal pay should exist. Nearly 20% of women in the workforce are employed in healthcare, and that number is projected to go up even more. And about 35% of those female healthcare workers made less than $15 an hour. I believe that if they are taking care of the people in our country, they should be making well over $15 an hour. Raising their minimum wage to $15 an hour or more would reduce the poverty rate of women female healthcare workers by 27.1%, which is quite a big number. Now, I still don't agree that the federal rate should be $15 an hour, but if they set that rate for healthcare workers, I would not have a problem with that, because it would be beneficial and have a positive outcome. Now on to the negatives, which in my opinion outweigh the positives. I think that if most people did some research, they would see what would happen to our country if we raised the minimum wage that high, and their opinions would change. One of the authors from the articles I read stated, economic theory predicts that the demand for a product or service will decrease as its cost increases. This means that prices will go up, and since things get so expensive, no one will want to buy these items from the stores. This happens because stores need to pay their employees more money, and the stores need to make that money in order to pay them, so that this is why their prices go up. This could lead to stores not making any profit and possibly even going out of business, or they will just have to fire more employees. A study showed that a 10% increase in minimum wage will lead to a 2% less employment rate, which may not sound like a large number, but that 2% is hundreds of thousands of jobs that people need in order to survive. And the crazy thing is that 10% of the federal rate is only 72 to 73 cents. This is just some common knowledge and things that I believe everyone should know. Raising the minimum wage would cause inflation, and if you don't know what that is, inflation is caused by the wages going up, so we would have to print more money. Printing more money causes it to be worth less because we have more of it. I made this example in my paper. A $100 bill is worth $100 because it is the bill that is least common. Therefore, it has the most monetary value. Here's an easier explanation to understand. If 500 people in the whole world have a diamond, those diamonds would be either priceless or worth hundreds of thousands of dollars because it is so rare. But if everyone in the whole world, which is over 7 billion people, had a diamond, it wouldn't be worth anything because it is so common that everyone has it. In conclusion, I learned quite a bit from researching this topic, and I still believe the minimum wage should not be raised to $15 an hour. There are just way too many negatives, and the positives just aren't beneficial enough. I think it would be a good idea to raise it to that 20% increase where it would be $8.70 an hour, and the healthcare workers should make $15 an hour. But $15 an hour for everyone is just too much. That is all I have. Thank you for watching.